Hello, welcome once again to my channel. So this is how the dress came out. So if you want to learn how I made this dress, keep watching and watch to the end of this video to get all the details. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So the next thing to do is to fold your fabric into a cone shape. The diagram above is a sample of what a cone shape look like a triangle, but it's a cone shape. The upper side is tiny while the bottom side is wide, like a triangle form, but it's cone. So that's how you're going to cut out your fabric. So after cutting, the tip or the upper part of it that has a triangle shape, you look for the part that can take your shoulder measurements. So you mark it when you get it, then you rule your shoulder line, which will also be your starting line. Then after doing that, you take from your shoulder to your bust, because that's where we'll be stopping. It doesn't have shoulder to the hip. It's a free line, it's a free gown, not showing your hip or your waistline, to stop at your bust point. So from the once you mark out your shoulder, you just take your bust point from your shoulder to your bust. Actually, this is just an illustration. I've already cut out my back and my front, so it was kind of wide, so the camera wasn't capturing it. So that's why I decided to do the small size illustration, which is what I'm doing now. So I'm just taking my neck width. For the neck width, I use 2.5, then I came down by 2.5, which is 2.5 inches width, 2.5 inches length. Then I took my shoulder slants of 1 inch and I connected it to the neckline. So next is to take my armhole. So I'm going to roll out my armhole same way you do your normal basic bodies, but you're going to stop at the bust point. That's the difference here. Then you take your bust measurements. In this case, it's 9 inches. 36 divided by 4 is going to give me 9. Then you add your allowance, which is 1 inches allowance. It's a free gown, so you can just add 1 inches allowance, which is okay. So from the bust point, from the shoulder line, next thing to do is to get my length. So in this sample, I used 24, but in the actual gown, I used 31. It's a short gown, so I wanted it to be short and revealing. Then you just take that length, round it like a circle, like how you cut your flare, then you cut it out. So in this case, it's a sample, I'm not cutting it out, so I'm still illustrating how it was done from your bust to your shoulder, then your armhole area. Then from that armhole area, you connect it straight to the end of the length of the gown. So for the back part, the only difference between the back and the front is the neck area. Then the neck area, which is 2.5, then I came down by 1.5. I advise you go by 2 inches. 2 inches will be okay for the back. Since it's a turtleneck, you don't want it to be too choky at the back. So this is the back and the front I've already cut out, as you can see. So I added 1 inch sewing 1 inch and zipper allowance to the back view. So I'm just bringing it out so you see how it looks. I've already cut it out, so I was using the previous one as a sample. So the next thing now is for us to cut the sleeve. Since we've cut the back, so now it's cut the sleeve and then do this slash and spread method. So the next step is to draft your basic sleeve. So I'm very sure you know how to do that, or I'll leave a link below this video so you can watch. I'll be fast with this video. Just cut out your basic sleeve. So after cutting it out, this is the next step. The next step now is to do the slash and spread method. So you go down by 6 inches and draw a horizontal line. Then after doing that, you come down from that line, you mark 2 inches downwards, which will be your horizontal line. Then from there you take 2 inches inward, which will be your vertical line. So you rule this line. You first of all rule your horizontal line before taking your vertical line of the 2 inches you've marked out. Then you take your 2 inches straight down. This line you are ruling is where you cut out. So take note of, just follow exactly what I'm doing. Then from that line you came down by 2 inches. You mark another 2 inches also from that line. You mark the 2 inches. Then from the line, from that vertical line, you take another 2 inches. Then you rule out your vertical line. And also from there, you take your horizontal line. So these lines that we've marked out are the lines we'll cut out. So first of all, let's cut the 6 inches out. So the next thing is to slash it, and then you spread it on your fabric. Spread it as wide as you want. As you can see from the video, you can spread as wide as you want. That will give you the bell shape. So you cut. So the next thing now is to join our front shoulder and our back shoulder together. So next is to take the round measurements of the neckline. So you mark it. Mine is 17 inches. So divide your round neck measurement by 2 and then use that measurement to fold your fabric. So mine in this case is 17. 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. So I'm going to fold using that measurement, 8.5, which is what I have here. So mark the 8.5 and rule a straight line, which will be your starting line. Then next is to get the midpoint of 8.5. Mark the midpoint. In this case is 4.3. So mark the midpoint. So from that point you go up by 1 inches. 1 inches. Then you mark. Then at that point you connect it to the middle part. You connect it or you curve it. You can use your free hand or use your French curve. You curve it to the middle part that you took. So now is to measure the width of your stand. It depends on how you want it to be. If you want it to be very high, since it's a turtleneck, there's no need to make it too high. I think 1 inch is okay because you'll be cutting 2 pieces of this. So 1 inch will be okay. You don't need to make it too choked up to the neck and make the clients uncomfortable. So mark 1 inch from the middle point. Do the same thing, mark 1 inch. Then from the point where you went up by 1 inches, do the same thing also, mark 1 inches. 1 inches is okay since it's a turtleneck. So connect the lines together. You can use your freehand or you can use your French curve. So at the edge you can make it straight, or you can just use your freehand and curve it or give it any nice shape that you want. To cut this out, then you take it to your main fabric. Leave half an inch sewing allowance. Half an inch is okay. You don't need to make it too high. Half an inch sewing allowance. You cut it, then you add your paper stitch to it. So you cut this out. So after cutting, you place the both sides together, then run a stitch at the upper part, leaving the down part open, because the down part will be where you attach to the neckline. So after doing that, you can see how it looks. So I folded half an inch inwards so I can use that to cover the rough part of the neckline. So I'll open my zipper, then look for the midpoint of the neckline, then place the collar. Remember the 1/2 inch that I left or that I folded inwards. That's what I'm going to use. That's where I'll be sewing on, so I can have a clean finishing at the neckline. So after sewing, running a stitch, joining the neckline and the 1/2 inch that I left, I'll fold it at the other side, then use that part to cover the front side, so that will give you like a neat finishing. So just do exactly what I'm doing in the video. So after attaching the band to the neckline, this is how it's going to look. So the next thing now is to attach our sleeve to the armhole area. So turn the fabric and attach the sleeve to the armhole area. The wrong side facing wrong side. Then you use a pin to secure it round. So after attaching the armhole, the dress should be ready, and this is how it will look. All looking beautiful, ready to be slayed.